Before scaling my wedding business, I had the 150K tech job that most people would not leave, but I could not ignore how fast my wedding business was growing. In the past, I always thought that as a wedding pro, to make multi-six figures or even $1 million a year, I needed to have a big following and be well known by the entire world. No, that's not right at all. In this video, I'm going to show you the exact skills that can make you $1 million a year in your wedding business without wasting years of trial and error. Keep the faith and stick with me because we're just getting started.
I'm feeling good.
Just consistently in traffic. Look at that. Every day. Every day, that's my life. So today's the day, boys. Today is the day. Walking into my job and quitting and going all in on the business, and I'm excited. When I first started this journey a few months ago, I actually didn't even think that we would get to this point, but here we are today. Like, I set out with the goal of hitting profit 15 to 20K a month, and once I got there, I was like, all right, like, I've surpassed, you know, my actual job income, but it's also gotten to the point where it's a bit too busy. Like, right now, I'm still got to figure out how I'm building systems in this business and, you know, hiring and delegating. And right now, it's just too much, too complex right now, doing both, right? You know, having a sales job at another company, especially in tech, you know, I felt like I was running two businesses. You know, you work day and night, literally. I was working for like 14-hour days. Last night, I didn't go to bed until, what time was it? Until 3, sending out emails and contracts from my customers. You know, it's just a bit too much, and I've gotten to the point where, you know, I was like, let's set this goal in, because what a life would it be to be able to, you know, shoot weddings on the weekends, and your weekdays, you wake up whenever you want. That was real big for me, is that I was able to wake up whenever I wanted to. So I'm blessed, and it's definitely going to be a ride, so stay tuned. Isn't she pretty? Anyways. Alright, let's do it. Now's the time. Probably be my last time in Arlington, Virginia, Crystal City, for at least a long time, because definitely don't have no business being up here once this ends. So we're gonna see how this goes. And, you know, I'm gonna definitely pray everything goes smoothly. But I'm ready, man. I'm so ready. Y'all don't know how hard it's been doing both. No sleep, no breaks, just grinding all the time and startup. Hey, how you doing?
Good, man.
You got time?
Yeah.
Sweet. All right, cool. Just wanted to have a conversation with you.
Yeah.
So today, I'm going to be formally putting in my 2 weeks. Alright, what's up guys? So here again today to discuss a new video, which is going to be how to break out the 9-to-5 matrix. And I really wanted to cover this because I know a lot of people are in this same boat, and I've been here before. And the way that I went about quitting my job was a very structured way. And you know, it wasn't something that I took lightly. It's not something that I also did emotionally. So I want to make sure that we're going to go about this the right way as you continue to scale your wedding business on this journey. You know, so let's dive right in and let's talk about the tactics. Alrighty, so let's talk about these 3 steps on how I actually broke out the 9-to-5. Keep in mind before I go through this, when I say I had a 150K dream job, I was actually selling AI for Amazon Web Services to other bigger tech companies, which was a very fun and lucrative space to be in, because if I had stayed there within like, probably I would say like in year 3 to 4, I would have easily been doing upwards of 300 to 500K. It was a great job. I could have been making $500,000 a year at this job, but I quit this job because I couldn't ignore what my business was becoming. This wedding business is much more scalable. I could scale this to $1 million if I really wanted to with these systems. And so, yeah, I really wanted to just give you guys a more formal and structured breakdown on how I actually went about it, right? So let's dive into this. Step 1, overcome your limiting beliefs. This is what I believed before I quit my job or even scaled my business. I just wanted to get to 10K per month. For that for me was unfathomable, because even though I have had made 10K a month, obviously you're shooting weddings, sometimes that does happen. It wasn't consistent. I did not think that it can be consistent. I never even imagined though of having 20K, 50K, or even 100K a month in weddings. That to me was, I did not think that was possible. I thought a successful wedding business needed massive followings. I thought you had to have like this huge brand, you had to be well known, and that is just not the case. I assumed advertising simply did not work for me. And I will say, there was a time period where I did try meta ads. I tried meta ads back in 2024, and I was reading Alex Hormozi's book, $100 Million Leads, and unfortunately, it did not work for me. I tried everything I possibly could to get these ads to work, and it just didn't work for me. I thought it wasn't for me, honestly. I really did. And I almost thought it was a scam a little bit. And I really thought it only worked for bigger companies, and that was just not the case. And so this is what changed. I realized the problem was not the opportunity, the market, or the advertising platform. The problem was that I have not developed the necessary skills yet. Instead of believing in myself, I placed my faith in Jesus Christ and trusted that He could give me the strength to be capable of handling the vision. Jesus Christ is the reason why I was able to actually scale my business, because He put this knowledge in front of me. Like, I didn't know meta ads could work, but He gave me the vision to try it again. And because I did that, I was actually able to scale my business. So at the end of the day, the number one rule that I will say is just making sure that you have faith. Have faith, take ownership of your weaknesses, and refuse to quit until you develop the skill. For I can do everything through Christ who gives me strength. Philippians 4:13 NLT. Believe that with all your heart and have mountain moving faith. Step 2, invest in mentorship and new skills. This is key. This is one of the main things that I was missing. I was skilled at creating wedding films, but I did not fully understand how to scale a business. There were so many skills that I had to learn that I didn't even know existed at one point, right? I was so focused on my camera, my edits, lenses, things I thought that made the business better, and it just did not make the business better. Advertising, sales, offers, lead generation, follow-up, business systems are what actually moved the needle forward for me. I stopped trying to figure out everything by myself, and I actually invested into a mentor who had already achieved the results I wanted. My mentor helped me recognize that advertising was not the problem. I simply did not know how to advertise properly yet. Once I developed a consistent advertising system, I could invest more money, generate qualified inquiries, book more weddings, and have predictable revenue. That was key for me. I just wanted predictable revenue, guys. I wanted to know, exactly how much I would have been making that month. And I finally unlocked that skill. And once you unlock that skill, I promise you, you never ever will dip below 10 or 15K a month, the bare minimum. Some months, if you want to, you can make 50K a month. You can make 100K a month. It is insane once you actually know how to properly advertise. Don't just try meta ads and hope for the best. Learn how to run the meta ads. That's what that was the key shift for me. I had to figure out how to actually run it, because I tried it a year, in 2024, and it did not work for me. I had to literally learn from a mentor and a coach how to properly go in and do it. And if you don't know the proper settings and the proper buttons, if you know whether you're running dynamic creative or not, like if you don't know these things, it can actually slow you down. So that's just a little key moment I want to say there. And if you are interested in learning that process and you are thinking about getting a mentor or anything like that, follow me on Instagram. The link's in my actual bio on this YouTube video, and you can just shoot me a DM and we can work one-on-one and I can help you scale your wedding business. But main lesson, learn from someone who is already doing what you want to do. The right mentor will not eliminate the work, but they can show you what to work on and help you avoid years of unnecessary trial and error. It is not always about how hard you work. It is about what you're working on. That is one of the key things I think I've learned this year. I know janitors at the gyms that I work out at, and they work harder than me. They not only work at these gyms, but then they leave and go and clean other people's houses. That is insane to me. That's hard work. That's grit. That's labor, right? I make more than them by shooting weddings on the weekends. That's absurd. I'm doing what I love on the weekends, and they have to go and clean. It's not how hard you work, it's what you work on. Always remember that. But I also want to discuss this as well. Trial and error. I wasted 5 years. 5 years trying to grow this business because I didn't want to learn the proper skills on how to scale it. Or I didn't even know what were the proper skills to scale it. I didn't know what I needed to learn, right? And the main skill that I had to learn was advertising because I didn't know how to solve my demand constraint. Whenever you start a business, the first thing you have to figure out is, can I get demand? Can I get business? Can I get people knocking down my door? That was the first constraint that I had to fix. And once I fixed that, I was scaling to the moon and back. It's up to me how much I want to make now every single month, you know? In fact, my problem isn't booking more weddings. I book so many weddings every single month. That isn't my problem. My problem is trying to figure out, how do I fulfill on all these weddings now? That's my problem. I got supply constraints. I don't have demand constraints anymore, right? And that's where you want to be. Those are good problems, right? Like, I have so much that I'm choosing which couples I want to work with. I'm choosing which venues I want to shoot at. That's a great, phenomenal problem to have. At least every single morning, for some weird reason, I always get a lead. Every single morning. Hands down. It's weird. But like throughout the day, I end up with like 4 or 5. Daily. I'm choosing who I want to work with at this point. That's where you want to be. Step 3. Set clear targets before quitting. I did not quit emotionally. I did not leave my $150K tech job after one successful month. I created specific targets that would prove my wedding business was stable enough to support me. Basically, one of the main things that I really wanted was for my actual wedding business to surpass my actual job's income. And it did that times 10 literally. So it's pretty fire. Here are some of my targets that I actually set for myself that I believe that you should do as well before you quit your 9-to-5 job. Target 1 was build my safety net. My goal was to save $50,000 within 4 months. This gave me financial security and enough breathing room to focus on growing the business without operating from a place of fear or desperation. When you are making actual business decisions, you don't want to do it from a place of fear, right? That's not where I wanted to be. And so having a solid savings was really key for me. Now, I was a little bit overboard with saving up $50,000. I don't even think anyone needs to save up $50,000. I think that if you have a savings of $50,000, you should go and invest that, right? You just need 6 months of living expenses is really what you need. Target 2 was to prove consistent revenue. Generate at least $15,000 per month for 4 consecutive months. I did not want one lucky month. I wanted proof that my advertising and sales system could repeatedly produce revenue. This was extremely important for me because I had a little bit of fear when I first started running Meta ads. I was like, all right, like the first month, I actually hit 20K my first month and I was like, is this real? Like, am I really? I had a little bit of imposter syndrome. I was like, I don't know if I can do this consistently. Like this is insane, right? I'm just looking for the next problem or next reason for this to not work. And the next 4 months, I literally did that. I made 15K plus a month. Some months I made 20K a month. So one month I made 23K. And I did that consistently for 4 months straight. And after that, I realized I was never dipping below 15K a month. I don't do that no more. I have not done that since I started running Meta Ads. It's nuts. So definitely make sure that's a target. Make sure you can prove that the system works. And then I would go about quitting my job. The decision, once I had $50,000 saved up, 4 consecutive months of $15,000 plus in revenue, a repeatable system for generating new clients, I knew leaving my job was no longer a reckless decision. It was a calculated step of faith, right? Main lesson, do not quit your job based on excitement. Set measurable targets that give you evidence that your business is ready. Faith does not mean moving without wisdom. Faith means trusting God while preparing responsibly for the opportunity He has given you. Responsibly. Listen, having faith does not mean just jump off the cliff, right? You have to be calculated in your risk that you take. And that was something that I took very serious. And that's why I want you to set up targets in the way that I did. Set up an actual structure and goals the way that I went about it, because this not only provides you safety, but this also gives you clarity and much more comfort going into this process, right? So that's one of the main things that I wanted to pretty much cover for this video. And to close things out, faith changed what I believed was possible. Mentorship taught me skills to make it possible. Clear financial targets showed me when it was time to make the leap. If you want to scale your business to 200K plus a year, then follow me on Instagram and shoot me a DM to work one-on-one. And remember, I believe God placed that vision inside of you for a reason. Stay faithful, keep building, and as always, I'm rooting for you. Stay tuned for the next video.